Shopping with my children. I don't work here. By user global it's 6,448. So this happened a few years back and I've been enjoying these stories so much I thought I'd share one of mine. I went to Walmart with 2 of my children and heavily pregnant with my 3rd. I was comparing toilet paper when a lady shoved her cart into my ankles. I was startled, but it didn't hurt much and I usually assume accidents happen. I snapped my head in her direction and she angrily shouted, "Where is your bleach?" I looked down the aisle and pointed it was down there. She snapped that I needed to show her and put it in her friggin' cart. I was all belly, but didn't look like it from behind. I fully turned around to face her moving out of the way of my cart with my 2 children inside, previously shielded by me, and asked her what her problem was. To say she looked shocked was a hilarious understatement. I'd like to say she apologized when she realized she jammed her cart into an 8-month pregnant woman shopping with 2 small children, but no. She zoomed around me, grabbed the first bleach she saw and hightailed it out of the aisle. ETW, I was wearing a bright neon green dress. No idea how she thought I was an employee. Not my patient, no, by user eticum. My husband, 54M, has serious dental phobia. He recently had a root canal procedure that ended abruptly when he came out of sedation and felt all the pain. He returned the following week to see why he'd been in pain since the procedure. They gave him nitrous and that also ended badly. He freaked out and was basically sitting in the corner moaning as I 57F rubbed his back and tried to keep him calm. Dentist asked if they should call an ambulance. I figured it wouldn't hurt, he was pretty out of it and I wasn't sure I'd be able to get him to the car safely. But instead of an ambulance showing up, it was a couple of cops. I'm giving them info about the situation with lots of detail and what I'd like to see happen. Talking about his past interactions with cops, EMS and dentists. Basically, the stuff you share in a crisis with the first responders so they can best assist you. Cop finally says, "You sure know a lot about your patient." "Oh my dude. I'm in jeans and a hoodie and the staff are all in dental scrubs with the business name on them. Not even close in appearance, and he would have spoken to half a dozen employees before he saw me." I responded, "Well, if by patient you mean spouse, then sure." He didn't even acknowledge his mistake. I've been mistaken for an employee in retail stores, and it's never shocked me, but this really blew me away. Like a fat lady can't have a hot husband. A wife can't act as medical proxy for a husband in distress. SMDH. Ita, I did not expect so many supportive comments on his experience. Thank you. But you are wearing a name tag. I shop for a delivery service and I'm in Target 10 minutes 15 times a day 5 days a week because of it. I never wear red. Some animal printed on my shirt, fox, owl, crow and leggings are my go-to basics. I have my car keys on a lanyard and this particular day I had them around my neck. It's a tan lanyard with Grizzly Energy products adverts printed on it, still not red. I'm a nice person in general, and if someone walks up to me assuming I work there and they are nice, I laugh and say that I don't work here, but I know where it is. I point in that direction, maybe even give them an aisle hash if I remember. This happens to me everywhere I shop often. My sister told me it happens to her too, that we just look like we know what we are doing. This day it happened twice. One woman was kind, embarrassed. I helped her anyway and kept moving. The second lady was late 60s, early 70s, dressed in a sporty tennis-looking outfit, probably pickleball. It's really popular here. She sharply barked at me, "Where's the sunscreen?" I'm in the kids' crafts looking for a specific craft kit. I was already off, but so I plainly told her I don't work here. She snapped at me, "Then why would you be wearing that name tag?" I looked down and lifted what is clearly my car keys. "You mean my car keys? No, those are for name tags. Why would you wear it like that?" I'm dumbfounded at this point. To keep track of my keys, they aren't just for name tags. Her only comeback at that point was, "Well, you should never wear them like that. You're just trying to confuse everyone." I smiled and said, "You're the only person who has ever thought that." She stormed off and I called my boyfriend immediately, just giddy to tell that story. The jerk, he tainted my joy. I can see how she thought that. I could have kicked him in the ankle for that. TLDR, I keep my keys in my pocket now so I don't confuse little old ladies. He thought I was a cop, by user limp insurance 2812. Maybe sometimes it's okay if they think you work there. I was driving home from work late one night in my Ford Explorer and there was an erratic driver that had been speeding and weaving and cutting everyone off. As we slowed down side by side at a red light, he abruptly jumps in my lane and cuts me off for no apparent reason. Traffic was light, he wasn't turning, and he would have been first at the line either way. Just made no sense other than to be a dick. I was tired and crabby and jumped into the lane next to him, raising my hands and mouthing, "What the hell?" He looked at me wide-eyed and said sorry very sincerely. The light turned green and he proceeded to drive like a lamb the rest of the way. I was pleasantly surprised but perplexed. That's not at all how that ever goes. Then I realized I was still in my work gear, skull cap, dark jacket, vest, badges around my neck, and fingerless gloves. In the light of day it may have been more obvious, but at 10 CRPM on a dimly lit road he totally thought he'd cut off in a marked cop car and got yelled at. Edited for grammar/spelling. I was literally 12 by user Royal Lips. When I was a kid, I went shopping with my mom. A lady approached me and tapped me on my shoulder and told me to go grab a shirt in another size. I stammered, "I don't work here, I'm in middle school." She rolled her eyes and muttered, "Kids these days have no work ethic."